Awesome, awesome. Cool. We'll wait for Siddhant to confirm if he can see us live and if he can see the X badge popping up. If yes, then we will do the intro. Honestly,
Uh,
I've been so inspired by a few intros that I'm watching that I want to do one.
Siddhant doesn't know why he's here.
Siddhant is here for the comical element to the
we are
anyway
live,
comic
guys.
scream. Cool. Thank you so much, guys. Welcome to the third episode of DG3 Talks. My name is Raunak. I am a sports analyst at DG3. Along with us today is Ronit, who finally agreed to join us after the first two successful runs. And we have Siddhant also joining in, who is honestly not sure why he's here. So, Siddhant, to start off, I want to ask you, why are you here in the first place?
Okay, so first things first, you guys are going to talk Wimbledon, and as much as I don't have a clue on what's going to happen this season, but yes, there are a few talking points, and I want people who know about the sport to tell me what's going to happen. So I know there's going to be a lot of Djokovic talk happening, and we do have a lot of banter on Chocobai in the office. So
Nice,
No, I
I
think
nice.
want
you
to
know
hear your
Wimbledon.
takes on that. And yes, so while you guys
At
will
the
be
scale of,
talking in data, I want to talk in jokes. So that's what I'm going to do for the most part.
Awesome. Yes, Ronit, you were saying something.
I was just saying that he knows. He knows. He may not have followed it for a while, but I've seen him make jokes. But
Yeah.
at the scale of Wimbledon is a Grand Slam in tennis to Djokovic is going for the 25th title. Where are you in between? What do you think? Where do you lie in between? So it's
I
a
think
question,
he.
Siddhant, to you. On that spectrum, where are you?
Hmm. On that spectrum, I think I am somewhere in the middle because in order to know where I am, I have to know where I am.
So
I
you're,
am that lost.
I think you're closer to Wimbledon is one of the slams in lawn tennis.
He's closer to Wimbledon than we are closer to see Jesus come back on Polymarket. So
I
I
think it's at
think, I think,
4%. I don't know. I think it's at 4% or I don't know, 7% probably. Anyway,
yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, so guys, we are gearing up for another, another fantastic season of Wimbledon. And we all know how majestic it is. In general, it is, considered as the holy grail of tennis, where like the Grand Slam of the Grand Slams. And we had a pretty upsetting Roland Garros. I know it because we all were talking and bantering about it
Hmm.
at work. Ronit, your thoughts on what we witnessed, at the finale of the clay court season, and how do you think it affects what we see moving on in the grass season?
See, largely the only opinion I have is, and it's pretty small. It's largely that I think it was first for Zverev, right? Alexander
Yeah,
Zverev's first Grand Slam title,
correct.
right? So actually, congratulations to him. He's been trying hard for many years, right?
Yeah,
And finally, he won a slam. See, I watched a lot of lawn tennis. I would say from 2005 to 2020, right? And 20 because I've been a huge Roger Federer fan, and then I took a break. And I've seen a lot of like only three players dominate, but
yeah,
that was not the case before that era, and I hope that's not the case after that era also. So we see probably five, six players playing. So I'm happy. I would just say I'm happy. Good to see upsets when you don't have
yeah.
when you're not rooting for one player in the game. So
Right.
happy to see that. I would just say that.
Awesome. And Siddhant, to you, I have a slightly different question. What was your first, I would say, first tennis watching memory? And not as in like you were a kid and you saw it play on the TV. More like when you were actually understanding what was happening in the game, and you were like, oh, this is a sport that I might watch in the future.
So the first memory that I have of me watching tennis properly, like you mentioned with the conditions you've given me, was the last Roland Garros final. In fact, so you had texted me that if there's a match you should watch, it has to be this one, and this was right towards the beginning of Alcaraz's comeback against Sinner. So
Correct.
on the final set point, that it would have been for Sinner, but it ended up as the beginning. So that was the first time I actually watched, and I watched it through for like an hour and a half or so. I think at that point there was an hour and a half's worth of tennis left. So 5 hours 49 minutes I think was the final duration, longest match recorded in Roland Garros. So that was a
Hmm.
fantastic first match to get into actual tennis. But yes, I haven't been that consistent, but yeah.
I think the siren at the back complimented your choice of the bats that you sort of ended up picking up. Yeah, Ronit, you were saying something?
No, no, nothing, nothing. I think the
I
question
think
was to Siddhant. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So crazy. I think that was a crazy game to add to something that, Ronit, you mentioned Zverev coming up and winning his first slam. Definitely a very important for the sport because, more people need to feel that like Sinner, Alcaraz, to a certain extent, Djokovic and Zverev are not playing at a level where they cannot, like a level that they cannot attain. And also very special for Zverev because I think he has come very, very close multiple
Many
times.
times. Yeah, many times. Yeah.
Like last 2024 Roland Garros final, lost to Alcaraz in the finale, was so close to winning it that sort of already envisioned himself with the trophy in his hand. An interview that I recently saw talks him about him battling his entire like his journey with diabetes,
Yeah.
and as a player it's very
Yeah,
difficult.
he takes those insulin shots on the field, right? On the court. Yeah.
Yes, mid match he has to take because his blood sugar levels can drop really, really quickly. And to battle it all, he always said one thing, even after losing a finale, and that he knew it in his gut that one day he will be a
Yeah, yeah.
Grand Slam champion.
Yeah, it's always
So
that one day for everybody.
that was
Yeah.
that was really, really special for him. And he had an Olympic gold before Djokovic had an Olympic gold. So think about it, like how much of a weight it was to actually carry not being a Grand Slam
I think
champion.
that's singles, right? Singles Olympic gold or doubles Olympic gold. He
Damn, I think.
plays for he played for Germany, I think. Okay, I think never mind because I was just trying to compare it with the Olympic gold that Nadal has against Federer. Anyway, yeah, yeah. Let's get back. Yeah.
No worries. Yeah. So I'll have to pull that info up, but all I remember is that he won this Olympic gold medal. But now that you spoke about Nadal and we have already sort of touched base on Djokovic and Federer as well. So see, I started watching tennis around 3 years back, and even though I started watching tennis fairly recently, I got
Oh,
really into the sport.
oh.
And all the historical information and data that I have is all just me going and watching those highlights. But for you, Ronit, you started watching it in 2005. I want to
No,
ask you.
I started watching in 2001. I think,
Oh,
yeah, I think that is your birth year, right?
it's 2000, but yeah, I was 1 year old at that
Very
time.
close to that. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I started. Yeah, but sorry, what was your question?
So my question was, like whatever I am seeing, it's a very compressed highlight where, like both the players are just like firing screamers from both ends of the court. But like watching it in real time, can you explain to me like what it felt like watching those matches which went on for like 5, 5, 6, 6 hours?
Oh no, it was absolutely it was a delight, right? See, I started watching tennis in 2001. My father is a huge fan of Pete Sampras,
Oh
right?
wow.
So I think in 2001 we were watching tennis together. I was 9 years old, 9, 10 years old, and I think it was I think before the round before quarterfinals, and Federer took it 5 sets. Roger
Hmm.
Federer, and I had no idea who Roger Federer was. But
Hmm.
just because my father was supporting Pete Sampras, I decided I'll support Roger Federer, and then
Okay.
it was like a scene at our home, right? And I just fell in love with his game, the way he played it, right? His entire style, right? So in the middle of that chaos, I think that love for tennis started blooming. And then I think 2001 is like fifth standard or something, right? And then
Hmm.
throughout our school days, tennis became really popular from 2001 to 2010. And three people emerged as legends, right? Federer,
Hmm.
Nadal, and Djokovic. So it was crazy watching them. Before Djokovic, it was more like, somebody who's obviously talented. We were all kids, so we didn't know the nuance of the game. But when you looked at Federer, you looked
Hmm.
at talent, a class on the field, and then on the other side, Nadal, like this raw power, a muscular, a
Yeah.
guy who's playing tennis, right, in his sleeveless shirt,
Yes.
right? And it was right hand versus left hand. It was single-handed backhand
Yeah.
shots or slices versus raw topspin power, right? From
Correct.
Then there was Nadal's serve game was really bad at that time. Like he
Yes.
improved really. I think he improved after 2010, where his serves also became like winners. and
Hmm.
Federer was all serve and volley game, right? Aces with very weird angles. So yeah, it was a crazy experience, right? And I've
Hmm.
watched diligently until 2020. And after
Hmm.
2020, I've been sort of just Federer retired, saw a bit till Nadal retired, and then sort of now following only Djokovic matches, following Sinner and Alcaraz very not very closely, but following them a bit. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Makes sense. I just had one question, and then Siddhant, I have one question for you as well. To you, Ronit, do you think that you watching these matches as a kid back in fifth or sixth standard sort of also plays a role in you now? Running DG3 and DG Predict and Bet before. Do you think there is some sort of connection, or this is just pure luck that you are operating at?
No, no. So with DG3, right? Never thought of watching sports or playing sports and then getting into a sports intelligence industry. But I enjoy. What I'll just say is I just enjoy doing it because a part of our work is to watch matches and watch games and
Yeah,
watch sports and learn from there. So what other? Why would you want to be in any other industry if you think of
correct,
it from that
correct.
angle, right? I've just been super active with sports, especially during childhood days. So yeah,
No,
that's all. What about
that's
you?
really
But
cool.
what about you?
In terms of like first memory of watching a tennis
Yeah,
match,
yeah.
or
Yes, yes, yes. First
yeah,
memory.
so my first memory of watching a tennis match was 2022 Wimbledon final. Actually, the first match that I ever
Oh,
watched. I remember taking the Geo Hotstar subscription from Geo Cinema at that point, subscription from a friend, and then just tuning in because there was a lot of talk around, like a young prodigy in Carlos Alcaraz is playing the elite, the master Novak Djokovic. And at that point, I had no idea, by the way, like who is Novak Djokovic. I was in a sports group where people used to talk about these matches, and I just randomly chimed in. And I remember that match, Ronit and Siddhant. I think at that point I had no idea.
Djokovic won that match
He
or
lost that
Alcaraz?
match. Alcaraz, it was it 23 or was it 22? It was
I think,
23.
I think.
You are right, actually. I think it was 23. That
Yeah, yeah.
final.
Five setter. Alcaraz won that match.
it
Oh
was a
God.
it was a brutal 5 set match,
Yeah,
and I think that is probably why I sort of fell in love. That is probably where I fell in love with the game. I've always been a racket sports player ever since childhood. Like I've played, like been a professional badminton player, so
yeah.
there was
Yeah, yeah.
always that keenness towards hand-eye coordination, and how it manifests in a skill-based game. But I think that is where tennis sort of uh, became a regular sport that I ended up watching. And the other thing, I think that is why I do what I do at DG3. Because watching sports, writing about them, talking about them, making videos about them is a part of my job
Yeah, yeah.
description.
You're good at it.
And that is exactly what I want to be doing. So definitely. And guys, I got validation on stream to everyone watching. So then to you, I remember you. So by the way, to everyone watching us live on Twitter and Twitch, Siddhant and I go a long way back as well. And my early memory of you, in terms of sports, has always been basketball. So probably you could tell us a little bit about how sports, sort of affects your life right now, and what role has it played growing up and even right now as well.
All right. So early sports memories, dad was pretty keen on me and my sister, being active in sports. So I remember I was, I think, in the first grade, and that's when I played tennis for the first time. So back in first grade, dad took us to the Naval Sports Club, and he was like, "Yeah, I've got you guys rackets, I've got you guys everything you need, start playing." Tennis, as you two know all too well, is about control, especially. Matlab, we're used to cricket, but then when you start playing tennis, chakka nahi maar sakte. Matlab, you can't just shoot the ball and then. And I did
Yeah.
just that, and I got a whooping from Papa court pe. Ki, matlab, you can't do this crap. So that was my first memory that I have. I had to take an earful from dad the first time I properly tried to play tennis. So tennis, I've gone way back. When I talk about sports shaping me, the 2016 NBA season was probably the only season that I followed closely, and that was in college. So I had to get up early for class, so I would reach my cafeteria, and somehow the hostel had a TV with the NBA season running up. So Oklahoma City Thunder, Russell Westbrook on his MVP season, and 6:30, 7 a.m. I'm watching him ball out. Matlab, I would see that's his most dominant season. That was the season he got his MVP award. And it was after the two, three star players that were playing with him left the team for another team to probably get a better chance at the chip. So he was all alone and he still made sure that the team made the playoffs. He got the MVP and that raw power, like you guys mentioned, that Nadal has that muscular body, that raw power. So he is a 6'4" guard in the NBA, and that's nothing because there's people who are taller than him and stronger than him, but he did not make that count.
Hmm.
And that never give up, never say die attitude. So that was one of those instances where I saw that. So
Nice.
this and recently we've been talking about IEM Cologne as well in office. So the team that won the superstar that was playing Nikola
Hmm.
Kovac. So he won after 8 years of showing up in his first major final. So I think we had an internal discussion where Ronit asked me to explain this in tennis terms. I was like, this is like Andy Murray showing up in his first Grand Slam final, but
Ah, yeah,
winning it
yeah,
4 years later. So that was the example. So that is why I have to stay up to date on my tennis trivia so that I can explain
Yeah.
sport trivia and translate it. So these are the
Nice.
moments that I distinctly remember across the last 10 years in sports. So the whole thing that you can't give up, and why should I not give up? What's in it for me? What's the light at the end of the tunnel? Sometimes it's these guys that you look at because
Hmm.
you've been a part of their struggle, and when they finally make it, like if these guys had to do so much and they managed to make it, then why can't I? So I think that's one of the
Nice.
more poetic messages that I take from sports in general.
No, I think what you're talking about is basically what the spirit of sport is all about. Similar instances growing up, I think I just always wanted to be active. And then badminton came along, and then squash came along, and then snooker came along. My father used to play a lot of snooker. So I played snooker professionally. And then, like, you remember school sports days, everything. So I think being active definitely, sort of shaped me in a way where I can take up challenges and not be worried about them. And even esports, you're talking about esports, I play a lot of video games as well. You die in a level, so you don't break the PlayStation. You try again and you try again and you try again. And at one point you're like, oh, there was something so trivial that I was missing, which was the key to passing this level. So fully resonate with that, Siddhant. And on that note, would want to take a segue back to Wimbledon 2026, guys, and a lot of action coming up in this tournament. I am expecting a lot of heartbreaks in this tournament personally. Considering I was also watching the grass season that led to Wimbledon. Zverev crashing out, Taylor Fritz crashing out, Francisco Cerundolo, a young Argentine winning the Queens. There is another player called Alejandro Davidovich Fokina winning Mallorca. So there is a lot which is happening here.
right.
But yeah, let's try to gamify it a little, guys. Siddhant, maybe you can share your screen and pull up the presentation. And what we can do is we can talk about all these players as well while guessing. While you guys are guessing, what is the probability of them winning this year's Wimbledon? So yeah, thank
Got
you.
it.
Can we go to the next slide?
Sure thing.
Awesome. So at number one, guys, we have Yannick Sinner in the men's category and Arina Sabalenka in the women's category. Ronit, your thoughts? What do you think is the implied probability of Sinner defending his crown rather at Wimbledon?
See, Alcaraz is out, right? So
Hmm.
if Sinner is at his best, I feel if Sinner is at his best, I even Djokovic won't be able to defeat him. That's my feeling. So I would say probably around 40%, 45%, 45%.
45%. Okay.
Yeah,
Siddhant,
really high, very bold.
no, I think you might be close. Siddhant, what do you think?
Sinner, I would give him. I think I'd go low on Sinner. I would say maybe around the 15-20 mark because, like Ronit said, if he's at his peak, yes, but then that's the whole problem. He's not being at his peak for an extended period of time repeatedly.
Hmm.
I've heard of three different fatigue and injury related instances, and
Hmm.
I really bought into the whole doping wala issue that he had been caught once. So I kind of have that bias against him.
Okay,
So,
that's a hot take
matlab,
right there. Okay. Okay, cool. So one thing here is that so Sinner lost like three matches ever since the tour began this year, and also became the first player to beat Djokovic to win 30 tour level matches consequently. So he's the first
Right.
player ever to do that. And I honestly believe in my heart that probably can be the last player ever to do that as well, because we are talking about dominance in a way that this sport has never seen. And I think Ronit can also back me up here. Winning 30 matches on any tour
And
is something that is against law of averages. What do you think, Ronit?
yeah, yeah. I'm bullish on this guy. Absolutely bullish on. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love his gameplay.
it resembles.
He's they used to say that that this guy resembles Federer and Alcaraz resembles Nadal, but it's not necessarily that. But what I enjoy is that he looks. But if you look at his body, it that the agility in his body resembles a lot of Djokovic, if you look at it that way. And he has this powerful front forehands that go deep, close to the line, right? So very difficult to pick up for folks. So yeah, so that
Yeah,
Sabalenka.
yeah. What do you guys think about Sabalenka?
Sabalenka.
Uh, to give some context, not in the best form,
Yeah, I
although
think
has
25%. 25%.
25%. Siddhant,
She's very
any?
unpredictable. She always comes across as somebody who will definitely win,
Hmm.
and then something goes wrong. But I genuinely enjoy her game. Yeah,
Nice.
Sabalenka.
I'm going to go with the same likelihood I gave for Sinner, 15-20 ballpark. I think the last time we discussed her run at a tournament, Raunak, you mentioned that she also had an upset in the semis or finals itself. I can't remember exactly, but
Hmm.
same problem. Matlab, something, Murphy's Law. If something can
Yeah.
go wrong, it does, and then they're second or they're out.
Yeah, yeah, lost to Daria Schneider, at the Roland Garros. Ronit and I were also talking about it. Had a pretty sad fall. But one thing that I want to talk about, like I want to share an anecdote on Sabalenka. So I also trade on tennis, obviously, and while trading, I try to pick up personal news bits as well, because you know how psychology is acting in their heads. You really cannot predict just by reading the numbers. And one thing that I got to know was that Sabalenka won the US Open only because she made her team promise that they will get her a dog if
Yeah.
she wins. And the dog is called Ash, as in Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Oh,
So that is something. So in my head, I'm willing to bet all my capital on Sabalenka, but somebody get her to promise, getting a gift from a
don't
team
bet
so
all
that
your
I can.
capital on Sabalenka. Use Kelly sizing. Yeah. Use Kelly
The
sizing.
plug had to come, and I'm glad it came.
Yeah.
No, I will use Kelly sizing and one click trade on DG3, guys. If you have not checked out DG3, I think this is the right time. We still have the alpha cohort open, and we are entertaining a few other people who just want to come check out, give us feedback on how the product is working for you. We've put a lot of heart and soul building this product, and trust me when I say we were not running a marathon while building it. So it is a lot of blood, sweat, and a lot of rigor that we have put in, and would love for you all to see it and give us your feedback. Anyway, let's see what you guys did without DG3's intelligence. How you guys fared. Next slide. Oh, I think Siddhant, you will have to zoom out. The percentage is written
Okay,
below the names. Yes.
there we
So
go.
Oh, close.
guys,
Oh, very close. Oh,
yeah. So Sinner is at 58.5%, which is an 11% rise from
how can someone
when.
get 58.5% in before a tournament, man? That's like almost saying that no one else will win at at all, right? It's like everyone else probably would be at who's next.
So I'll tell you why Sinner is
This high.
at
No.
58.5%. Couple of reasons. One, he had this historic run of winning 30 tour level matches, which only means that Sinner does not have a bad day on it. And there are a lot of players you will see who will say the same thing, that Sinner does not have a good week. He does not have a good month. He is basically having a good career, great career right now.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
him
this is true.
crashing out in Roland Garros is not at all connected to his winning percentage
Completely
at
agree.
Wimbledon.
My analogy was to football. Before FIFA started, I think Spain and France are the favorites largely to win, right?
Hmm.
But when you look at their numbers also, I think it's close to 20, right? I think it's, and now it's
Yes,
probably higher, but before the tournament was, I think, close to 20, right? Because
correct.
I think there were other teams that were given enough respect. Here, the
Yeah.
market is not giving any respect to any other players outside of Sinner.
Yeah,
That's
multiple
my only
reasons.
point. But I completely agree with you. I think he's in a great
Yeah.
form.
No Alcaraz, Zverev does not really play
Yeah,
that well on
yeah,
grass,
true, true.
and then a lot of underdogs coming in, I would say, like Fonseca,
Matteo
Cerundolo.
Berrettini. Matteo
Man,
Berrettini.
I want to take a moment, guys, and I want to tell you a story because obviously we work at DG3, so a lot of our conversation is also about trading on sports markets. And Ronit got to know about like I'm getting invested into tennis, so off the beat started asking me about which players to take a trade on, take a position on, and this very specific match Berrettini is playing. I'm not remembering who. I think Brandon Nakashima or Lerner TN, one of these two guys. And I'm like, Ronit, do not bet on Matteo Berrettini. And it was round of 16. Oh no, it was round of 32. And Ronit was like, no, but I remember, like, the only thing about Berrettini that I remember is his name and his serve. So I want to bet on Berrettini. And I was
Please,
like,
guys,
don't
don't
bet
rate
on
this
him.
way. That was just a joke.
Yeah. And he did not. He bet on the other player and lost. And that is a burden I've been carrying in my heart for a while now. So yes, Berrettini is in great form, by the way, Ronit. I think he's recovered really well. If injuries don't come his way, I think Berrettini will be a strong dark horse to look at in this
Yeah,
tournament
interesting.
purview.
Yeah, he's always he's very unpredictable on grass. I think he played Djokovic in that final. I think
Yes, against
right?
Djokovic. It was a grass final
2019,
only.
2019 final. I think I don't know.
No, no,
I don't know.
2019
No,
was actually
Federer Djokovic.
iconic.
I think there
Yeah.
was one more where I think. Anyway, yeah. Let's.
Was it 17? I'm not really sure, but yeah, one of these finals he played against Djokovic and they put up a really good show, just ended up losing it. Uh, but yeah, Siddhant and I also had a conversation about how Matteo Berrettini is one of the biggest what ifs of tennis because if injuries like he had an abdomen injury,
21.
a
That was
shoulder injury,
21.
21, yeah. Had these injuries not come in the way, we would have seen him crowned as a Grand Slam champion for sure. Like there were not many players who were matching his level back in the day. But yeah, as luck has it. Cool. Sabalenka is at 20%. So Siddhant, I don't know where you got that number from, but whatever you did, you were quite right. It is at 21.5%. Similar reasons, guys. I think not being consistent. And personally, I think we are going to have a new women's Wimbledon champion this year, a new Grand
So
Slam champion. So let's see. Cool. Can we move to the next slide, Siddhant?
Let's go.
Djokovic is
I don't
at
know.
the second number,
15%.
15%. Okay.
Yeah.
Siddhant,
I think I'm going to go even more conservative, 10%.
10%. Okay. Any thoughts whatsoever on Rebakina, guys?
Uh, Same. I think around 15%.
15%.
Yeah.
I have no thoughts on
No
Rebecca.
thoughts on
I'm going to
Rebakina.
pass this.
Cool. Finally, authenticity. I preserve that skill in a man. Cool. Cool. Let's move to the next slide, Siddhant. Let's see what the market thinks.
Oh,
Very, very close. Djokovic is at 10.2 and Rybakina at 11.5. By the way, guys, Djokovic started at 34.5. So let that sink in even before the tournament began, he is already priced at
yeah.
10.2.
He's the
And
year has been hard on him. I think he's not played the best of his tennis this year. I think that's why.
I
yeah,
think
I
all of
mean,
the years are being hard on him at this point. Matlab, age is
I think
catching up.
he's 40. Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, but with
yeah,
Djokovic, I'll show you a graph right now. I just got Claude to work on some graph, and then you will realize that with Djokovic, age was never the factor, right?
yeah,
So I would not be surprised if the biggest upset is Djokovic, right? You know, the biggest upset of Wimbledon 2026 is Djokovic clinching his 25th Grand Slam title. Anyway, yeah, but enough of
No, but to
nostalgia.
your delight, Ronit, actually, he's going around, like the press conferences which are happening pre-tournament. He's saying that grass has always been his fortress. Like he has always been the most comfortable playing at grass, and that it does not put as much pressure on the knees. And I don't mean it in a funny way. It does not. So it's like less toll taking than when you're playing on clay.
Yeah,
So
yeah, significant,
we
definitely,
never know. We
definitely.
never know.
But isn't Djokovic hasn't Djokovic won most on hard like Australian Open and US Open? But of course,
Uh,
he's won. I think he's won six on
Eight
grass.
actually on
He's
hard.
equal
So
Federer.
he has equaled Federer, seven both, and is on the hunt to find the eighth one to beat him.
No, Federer has won 8 times.
I
No.
think Djokovic robbed the eighth one, if I am right.
Oh,
In 2019, Federer was about to win that match, and then
okay.
Djokovic came back.
God. No, no, he
If I
has eight.
am, he
Federer
has
has
eight.
Wimbledon titles.
Then I think it was the ninth one that Djokovic robbed at the center court.
Anyway,
So for
and
context,
Djokovic is at seven. Correct.
Djokovic is at seven. Yeah, so I think he's hunting to equal Federer's record at the center court, while obviously, and engraving his name in the history. I think it already is. Like the discussion of who is the greatest is a very subjective. I feel it's about who you like to watch and
Uh,
who
it is
really
it's a
resonates.
futile argument, actually. Honestly speaking, for analysts, it's a futile argument. It's for fans to just troll
Yeah,
and enjoy and have fun.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like statistically, sure, both I think are right up there. So no discussion on that. Cool, guys. On to the next one, Siddhant. Can we go to the next one? Okay, so Zverev, the fresh Grand Slam champion, and Mira Andreeva also the freshest Grand Slam champion
What does
right
this
now.
three mean? Is it descending order or is it just random serial number?
This is the this is the ISB brain talking, guys. The MBA has taken over
I'm
the
curious. I'm
mental
curious
space.
because my guess will be according to that.
I mean, it's a tell if I tell you, but
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what.
I've
Okay,
already
then
made
five
it
percent.
clear.
5%.
Okay,
Each.
5% is Zverev.
Mira
Andreeva,
Andreeva. 5%.
5%, 5%. Siddhant, do you have any thoughts? I will just ask you if you have any thoughts, and if you do, then we'll take your thoughts.
All right. For Zverev, I think he should be around the 20% mark. I am expecting there has to be some hype on his fresh win.
Okay.
And Alcaraz is out, so I would probably expect that to factor in more so for Zverev than for the others. For Sinner,
Fair.
we've already seen it's been overwhelming at 58.5. So I think something of a similar boost, I would say, to his likelihood should be observed.
Okay. Let's see.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
Let
Can
me
you zoom
zoom
out
out.
just a tad bit? Yeah.
I think this is a
So
perfect frame. Yeah. 7.8, close to 5. Okay.
yeah, so you did crack the pattern, but in terms of what market thinks, Zverev is at 7.8, and I think this comes because of his loss at was it Mallorca or was it Eastbourne?
But I
But
but if you're getting Zverev at 7.8%, it's a good buy in my opinion. You can definitely buy, right? By the time I feel he can touch semis, right? And at semis, these odds will definitely be much higher. And if you're not sure of his game in the semis, you can just sell it off at a profit. I feel it's a good buy at 7.8%.
yeah, I feel very interesting. A very interesting thing to be looked at for that should be the bracket, like in whose bracket is Zverev lying. But he's very high seeded. He's the second seed, so we know that semis is definitely a probability,
Yeah,
considering
yeah, definitely,
a
definitely.
heartbreak does not
Unless
happen.
you see an upset in, I think, against Matteo Berrettini. But
Against
yeah.
Matteo Berrettini or Ronit, if you can tell us the full form of FA.
No, I have no idea. Felix, I think, Felix. His surname is Auger something. Yeah,
Augur Ali
I'll leave it
Asimen.
to that. It's a live stream.
Yeah.
Uh,
So Felix Alio Olio, as Ronit says sometimes, but no offense to Felix, we love him. All the love
yeah,
to
yeah, of
him in
course.
Canada. But
Please don't see this.
Felix Auger Aliassime, definitely a strong player. Just went to his 2004 haircut. Ended up losing all his hair. and internet is crazy about that right now, asking Felix, what did you do? So let's see if the
I
new
hope that
haircut,
helps him win the slam.
yeah, if the new haircut can bring him some good luck, then we are all for it. Let's do
Sometimes
one
all
more,
you need is
guys.
yeah.
Yeah, let's do one more for guessing the probability, and then let's move on to the next thing. Oh, another one of the office favorites, Ben Shelton, and we have Jessica Pegula. Ronit,
I'm
what do you
sorry,
think
I've
about
not heard of
Shelton?
Jessica, so I have no view on that. Ben Shelton, close to 4%. 4%.
Close to 4%. Siddhant, Ben
No
Shelton.
thoughts. Ben Shelton.
Hmm. No
I
thoughts. Okay. My thoughts before we move on to the percentage, because honestly, I have also not seen that. I think Ben Shelton, because I know the logic is at somewhere close to 5%. But I personally feel that he will go deep in this tournament. The reason why I'm
Yeah,
saying this
that's
is
what I think. There's
because,
some really good buys. I think if you're getting Ben Shelton, Djokovic also at those
hmm,
percentages, these guys will at least enter quarters, right? Quarters, and you do a futures trade on them. Just do a futures trade on all of them, right? And book your
yeah,
edge.
very, very possible. And I think, yeah, they are not definitely not losing their first round matches. And also, it's not like we are saying this because we remember their names. It is also sort of proven at what happens at Queens, what happened at Mallorca, what happened at Eastbourne. So we saw those tournaments, minimum, they are like making it to the quarterfinals. So nothing less is expected out of them. Obviously, unless, a Joao Fonseca or like a Matteo Arnaldi or a Francis Tiafoe sort of pops up out of nowhere. These are very strong buys that we should be looking at. Yes. Cool. Siddhant, can you show what the market thinks?
Yeah.
3.5% is brutal, man. For Ben Shelton, I
Yeah.
think this is brutality at its core.
But I think don't look at it that way. As a fan, maybe you will feel upset, or maybe as a
Yeah.
follower of tennis, but just buy it at 3.5% and then sell
As
it
a
at
trader, I am definitely locking horns for sure, for sure, for sure. Pegula also, I think, is mispriced at 7.1%. By the way, for context, guys, Pegula is a Grand Slam champion and is a very good player, like a very good player. So, not just the 7.1% of her winning the tournament, I think minus 2.5 sets, minus 1.5 sets. These handicap spreads as we progress in the tournament will be a delight to have a look at. So, yeah, I think these spreads will make a lot of sense as as the tournament begins. Cool. I think this we there are more players, but I think we should probably wrap this up here and
yeah.
move on to the next thing. So Siddhant, thank you so much for sharing your screen and yeah, taking us through this, guys. Dark horse predictions, although you guys did drop them here and there, I want one official dark horse prediction for both men's and women's. What do you guys think?
Oh,
Kyrgios.
Mine is also Kyrgios, man. Nick Kyrgios is my darkest dark horse this Wimbledon.
I don't know. I don't know. For men, it will be probably, I think Berrettini is playing,
I
right?
was so
Berrettini.
sure he is
Yeah.
going to say
And
Berrettini.
for women, I would go with Serena Williams. Let's see what she does.
Crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
And
She's
yeah,
playing,
let's
right? She's
talk
playing,
about
right?
she's playing at
Yeah.
44, Ronit.
Yeah, she's
And do you know the
playing.
reason why she's playing?
Yeah, yeah, her daughter asked her to play, and she said, or daughter said something about Venus, and Venus asked her to play, and she
Yeah.
said, my daughter is always right, so I'm playing. It's basically an answer for the PR for public, right? But I think
Yeah.
she's trying something different here.
So two reasons that she gave, before making a comeback at the greatest tournament in tennis ever is that so a slightly emotional take on that, Ronit, that her daughter never saw her play a
Oh,
professional tournament,
oh,
and the world has seen the greatness of Serena Williams on the center court.
crazy.
So the
Yeah, yeah.
daughter requires a front row ticket to
One
that.
time. Who
So
knows,
that
man? I think even if she goes to quarters, I think that's like
that's a
enough.
statement and a half
Yeah,
if she
yeah,
does that.
yeah, yeah.
And honestly, considering that we're talking about Williams, I also want to talk about one thing. See, the only thing that can come in between of why Serena faces an early exit is how different modern tennis has gotten in comparison to the tennis that was played before. Modern tennis is toll taking, at its peak. And I think uh, even the upsets that we saw at the French Open, the reason why we were surprised, but we were like our socks were not blown off, is because it's
Why is
the
that happening
quality.
according to you? Like, what is it the schedule, or is it something else? Is it the change in court? But what is
Multiple
it?
things. So multiple things. The first thing is that the number of tournaments that are happening in a calendar year now.
They've
So we
increased.
start at ATP 75, ATP 50, Ronit and Siddhant. We know about 250, but it starts at that. So Sumit Nagal, the Indian professional tennis
Right.
player, won an ATP 75 tournament yesterday. And after a long break, he clinched the tournament. So great day for the country and for Sumit.
His
But it
second
starts,
challenger, right?
yeah, his second.
Uh,
Uh,
Nice.
so so it starts at 75, goes to 150, then you get like 125, 150, 250, 500, 1000, and then Grand Slams. So players are getting a lot of tournament time. Even if you win one, like miss one tournament, there are six tournaments making up for the lost time. So I feel tournament pressure, how they are dealing with it, it has massively improved. Second, we are talking about a lot of young players. These young players have physical agility. They have better facilities to train at. If you just look at Rafa Nadal Tennis Center, I mean, these facilities were not available to Rafa himself when he was training at that time. Third thing is temperature, the weather. You will see a lot of players like Casper Ruud, Yannick Sinner crashing out in Australian Open when the roof is open, and it's high heat, the brutal Australian heat, the brutal Parisian heat, at the time of Roland Garros as well.
Yeah,
And
it's
he
peak summer.
literally saw Sinner
I
crash out.
remember that final that Djokovic and Nadal played, right? And they couldn't stand
They
for the
couldn't
seven.
stand.
For the
Yeah.
Australian Open is brutal, man. Summers.
Yeah. So, these things I feel are there, but because they are getting so much practice, there are so many tournaments. I think their body has sort of evolved, adapted to these circumstances and conditions. And that is why I feel that if, let's say, Bjorn Borg or John McEnroe comes and plays a match with peak Carlos Alcaraz, I personally would place my money on a straight set win. So that's what I think. But yeah, that's what I think again, and we don't know what an Andre Agassi or a Pete Sampras can really
There
honestly.
is no, there is no
Yeah,
way. In fact, now is I think the right time to actually share my screen and show.
yes, yes,
Right. Okay. Where is my? Yeah. Right. So can you see my screen?
yes. I'll just add it.
Yeah.
Yes, Ronit, we can see it. Can you zoom in just a little bit?
Zoom in.
Is it possible?
No, unfortunately not.
you'll have to switch to the Restream tab, and you'll see the option for zooming on that tab itself.
You can try once. If not, it's still visible. It's not like we can't see it.
Just a second. Huh? Sorry, which tab? You're able to see? No, you can see
Yeah,
the
yeah,
screen. No?
we
Yeah,
can
yeah,
see
it's
the
fine.
screen.
They're
You
okay.
can
I
go ahead. You
think
can
I
go
think
ahead.
when you will be moving your pointer, so we will be able to see it.
Right,
No
right.
problem
So I'll
there.
just explain. On the x-axis, it is basically the age at birthday.
Hmm.
So this is 20 years old, 29 years old, 30 years old, 38 years old, 40 years old. So
Correct.
every player when they were 32, 39, 40, and then Grand Slam, number
Yeah.
of Grand Slam they had. So basically, this chart tells you that at the age of, let's say, 23,
Hmm.
across Federer, Djokovic, Nadal, Alcaraz, and Sinner, how many Grand Slams they had, right? So starting with 20, at the age of 20, only Djokovic, Nadal, and Alcaraz had won the slams. Federer, Sinner had zero,
Hmm.
right? By the age of 23, which is Alcaraz's age right now, he has the highest number of slams. I think one
Yeah.
way to maybe compare these players across the generations could be this. I still feel it is a wrong method, but just one way to look at it. So at age of 23, Alcaraz has the highest number of slams. And Djokovic had only two slams, by the way, right? If you look at
Yeah.
it, right? So let's look at Sinner. Sinner is 1 year elder to Alcaraz. By age of 24, Federer leads with eight slams,
Hmm.
right? And now we have these three legends, right? So let's look at 27. At the age of 27, Federer is at 15, Djokovic is at 10, and Nadal is at 11. And
Correct.
then Federer enters his slump, does not win a lot of slams, and Djokovic takes one peak. So at the age of 30, we have 16, 15, and 13, right? And
Right.
then look at what happens with Djokovic, right? Nadal gradually grows. Federer sort of saturates at that level for a lot of time. I think he was going through a lot of injury time, right? That
Hmm.
entire 10 years from 27 to 35 was about that 35, 36. And
Correct.
Djokovic sort of picks it up. So by the time you're 35, Djokovic is at 22 slams. Federer 17 and Nadal 19. Both of them have overtaken him,
Right.
right? So it's crazy. So I think we spoke about age, right? So if you look at this, Djokovic actually won quite a few slams, right? After 27 till his age now, he's gone from 10 to 24. So he's won 14 slams,
Yeah,
right? Djokovic and Nadal for that, even for that matter, right? Nadal also won quite a few slams. He went from 13 to 22, like 9 slams he won. Well,
and with
Nadal
that
is a
injury,
French clay court expert. Like, won so many of them on French.
I don't
That's
think
one
we
way.
will
But if you
ever
look at these
see.
young guys, they are
Yeah,
already above what these guys were at. Maybe not Sinner, but Alcaraz so. So highly likely that if Alcaraz manages his injury or his longevity with tennis, right? I think he can easily break the record of, I won't say easily, but he can break Djokovic's record of 24 slams. And
hmm,
who knows, probably Martina's record of 25 slams also, right? I
correct,
think she's
correct.
the highest, she's the record holder,
She is the
right?
record holder, correct. But yeah, another flip side to this also, by the way, nice artifact, Ronit. So another thing that can happen is that if he does not really, like Alcaraz does not manage the injury well, because there is also a lot of pressure. And again, the player does not have to take that pressure, but it is coming. Like back in the day, there was no social media, there was no Twitter, there were no PR appearances where you had to go even if you're not playing a tournament and like talk about it and like support your friends, whatever. But right now there is. So if I hope not, but if Alcaraz comes into that pressure, we can also see another Argentine Del Potro, and that is not
I hope
something
not.
that the tennis
I
world is
hope
ready
that
for.
at the level that they are playing, there are therapists, there is support staff, mental health staff, etc. That in fact coaches who would sort of guide them in the right manner. And I genuinely feel that social media pressure should, while it is one of the factors, should not affect, because that is the if that is this that is one variable that stops you from basically becoming a legend. And there is Alcaraz and Sinner have all the ingredients that are necessary to become legends.
Yeah,
So I'm
including
hoping
100 million in prize money.
yeah, incentives as well, right? Uh, I hope that they're able to focus on the right things, and I genuinely feel that they will.
Yeah, and you are right. I think the moment you said it, I remember how Gukesh, when he was playing the chess World Cup against Ding Liren, had Paddy Upton, who was the coach at Rajasthan Royals in the IPL cricket tournament, have him as the mentor who would only help him out with mental health
Right.
related struggles. So even in chess, I think across sports
Across
it is
sports, man, at that level, you
present.
need. I think definitely, I would say that this creates issues, social media, and all kinds of pressure. Not just that, but I think these athletes, they are at their best. They're at the best of humanity, I would say, right? Right.
Hmm.
So I genuinely feel they'll be able to. Most of them would be able to overcome it. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Siddhant, your thoughts. Did you say about the dark horse? You said Nick Kyrgios. Any reason why Nick Kyrgios, or we are just highballing
Just
it?
for vibes, and I think there was a wild card entry that he had to take,
Okay.
and his bad
Like it.
boy attitude aside, if he has to play, we've seen that matlab, he's made it to a slam final and he can hold his own. But I
Hmm.
think there's a purpose that he is missing. I mean, if you are able to understand that
Yeah.
purpose, he hasn't found, and then it's just that he can make it through on raw strength alone. But then why should I grind through this five setter is something that I don't think he's answered for himself. And the day he answers that, he'll be holding the trophy, I feel.
He also launched a clothing brand. Something that I saw by the side. Like apart from all the soul feeding activities and like the hunger and everything, like there is also I believe there is also the promotion of the clothing brand happening at Wimbledon a lot. And he's playing the main draw as a wild card. So yeah, a lot of eyeballs there. But personally, I think he's the darkest dark horse, like I said before as well. Kyrgios is a beast on grass. The way he serves, the way he returns. I think he had the most talent at a point. There is a match between Roger Federer and Nick Kyrgios. It was the 2017 Miami final. It is the greatest three-setter match that people claim that it is the greatest three-setter match that has ever been played. Kyrgios was this close to beating Federer in straights, And then obviously Federer being Federer displayed a masterclass. But yeah, I really think that Kyrgios is someone that we will have to be on the lookout for. Uh,
To add
yeah,
on to that three setter, there was another interview with Nadal where I think he was in the final
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Nadal. And
That
then
was semis, 2017 Miami.
correct. So
Correct.
somebody, one
Seven
of the
six 11-9 6-7 9-11 7-6 7-5. I'm talking about
crazy.
Federer and Kyrgios. I'm talking about Federer and Kyrgios.
Yeah,
so one of the reporters asked Nadal that, what do you think would have happened? It was a what if question. Like we are talking about what ifs as well. So Nadal just said, what if, if you ask that question, it's never
Yeah, yeah.
ending. So, but
I
did he
love that
win? No.
attitude, man.
yeah,
So that was
That
his
is
answer,
the
and
best
he then said,
attitude. It is
yeah,
look
yeah,
forward attitude. That's the attitude I think if everybody carries, right, their performance would just unlock because there's so much in your mind,
yeah.
genuinely speaking.
I know, I'm kidding.
So much in your mind that holds you back. These what
Yeah,
ifs hold you back so much. But
so
I
the
loved that answer that Nadal gave.
yeah,
between
Nadal.
the wildcard aspect of Nick and the answer that Nadal gave, I think that kind of covered the duality of man aspect in its entirely. There is the optimism that the what if brings, and then there is the brutality of what your reality is, and the need to accept it for what it is.
Yeah, Nadal literally went like, if doesn't exist, there is only now. And yeah, and it is actually very
It
inspiring
was
also.
cold and it was very direct.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, you should. I mean, you guys should watch Rafa on Netflix. It's the recently launched documentary. You will understand the magnitude of the injury that Rafa had.
Yeah, it
Any
was.
other player, guys, would have left playing professional tennis, and he
That's what I
went
was
on to
talking
win.
about athletes who become legend, right? Like
Yeah,
it's what makes them a legend, right? There are
yeah,
so many
greatness.
examples, right? Kobe, then there is Nadal here, Sachin Tendulkar in cricket, like many
Tiger Woods.
examples.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, of course, man, of course, crazy. Federer, Djokovic, all of them, they achieve things that normal human beings cannot, right?
yeah.
And it's all here, right?
It is. It is. And I want to talk about Agassi. Andre
Andre
Agassi. So
Agassi.
yeah, I want to talk about Andre Agassi because even actually I remember even before watching the Alcaraz and Djokovic match, the finale at Wimbledon, I read Open, which is Andre Agassi's autobiography. And
Oh,
the book starts, guys, where Andre is talking about the final match, a final US Open match that he's playing. He's going to quit tennis after that, and it's written in very first person way, where he's like, "Now I wake up, my entire body is hurting. I One more day of playing this terrible sport. I hate this sport. I love this sport." So it talks about how Agassi and his father, how his father really wanted him to play tennis, and how after a point it became a burden. And even after that, even after that burdensome situation, how he rose from the ashes and like literally became one of the greatest, if not the greatest player that we have seen play in tennis. So yeah, you guys can also read Open by Andre Agassi. This is to everyone, not just Ronit and Siddhant. If any passionate tennis fan is watching, I think Open is a really, really good book. Cool. That was great, guys. Another segment that I want to quickly cover before Ronit actually does a special activity is I want to ask a few questions. Think of it like a quiz, okay? Across men and women, who has won the most Wimbledon titles and how many?
most Wimbledon.
Yes,
Is it Martina Navratilova?
it is
Yeah, it
Martina.
is right. It is right. I think it is 9 or 10. I think.
It is nine,
Yeah.
correct.
Mm.
So she beat Federer by just one title.
Yeah, yeah.
A very random question. I will give you a hint before asking this question. Okay, this this question is about a player which is from the same Andy Murray, Roger
That era.
Federer, Rafa Nadal era, Djokovic era, and this person was the 2015 Wimbledon champion. Can you tell me who this was?
2015 Wimbledon champion. Stan Wawrinka.
Stan the man was
There
the
are
Wimbledon
very
champion.
handful players who have won any Grand Slam in those 15-20 years. So
Yeah.
that was a giveaway. I'm like, oh, okay. I wouldn't be able to tell you if you wouldn't have said he's a Grand Slam winner. Apart from
Yeah.
these three, Andy Murray, then there is Stan, and there's one more person, I think.
Yeah. I've been really enjoying watching Stan of late, like also because he liked my story. But apart from that, also,
Stan
I
and Federer were played for Switzerland doubles in
yes,
Olympics. It was a good
correct.
match. It was a good match.
They won the gold, right? They won the gold medal. From what I
I
remember,
think
I
so. I
think they
think
won
so.
the
Yeah.
gold medal.
So
So Federer has 8 Wimbledon titles. Djokovic has 7 Wimbledon titles. There is another player who has 7 Wimbledon titles. Siddhant, do you want to take a dumb guess on this? The reason why I said dumb, like focus on that also.
yeah, they won Olympic gold. Beijing. Yeah.
Is it a no-brainer dump or is it a you won't believe it? It's that easy.
We've used his name in our stream today.
Nadal?
Yes. No.
No, Nadal does not have 7 Wimbledon.
Two
Hmm.
Wimbledon titles.
Two Wimbledon. I am drawing blanks then.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
Pete Sampras.
Ronit's father's favorite player.
Pete?
Yeah.
Pete
Yeah.
Sampras, yeah. So the another player, the only other player who was able to dominate grass like this was Pete Sampras. And yeah, guys, I think with that we sort of come to an end, of the episode 3 of DG3 Talks. It was honestly really nice. I think very less data and a lot about personal nostalgia and opinions, a lot of them. But before we close it off, Ronit, we had a deal. You will be placing a trade at DG3, and you will be backing the player that you believe in. And I think we sort of know who that is.
So now I'm conflicted, because I'll tell you why I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted because uh, I will obviously I'm looking at Alcaraz as
Yeah.
sorry a Sinner as the winner.
Huh.
But the price is
But
right
the
elsewhere.
pricing for other players is better, right? So just for the fun of it, I'll do what is decided today. But then after
to
the stream,
my
I'll go and hunt for those prizes.
to our
Anyway, so we are
viewers,
looking at
he is
Wimbledon
only
winner.
but a man.
Yeah.
So yeah.
She's playing. This market went to 100. What? I think this market went to 100. Yeah, it went to 100. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, let's come back. So we have Wimbledon, men's Wimbledon winner. And he already touched 59.
Yeah. So 0.5 percentage movement since we started streaming.
I'll place trades on. Okay, I'll place trade on Yannick Sinner.
Wow. What a brave move by Ronit.
We'll
No,
go
no,
for a
no.
50
But a
odd.
trade is a trade. So yeah. Ronit, while you're doing it, can you also maybe take a minute and talk to us a little about DG3? Like, again, not as a founder, as a promoter of the product, but as a user. For example, you're looking at this screen right now. Maybe just tell us a little about this.
Yeah, so this is the intelligence panel, right? This intelligence panel basically has three segments. On the right, you have an edge finder, which basically picks up the intent and shows you events where there are edge, where
Okay.
there is edge. Right now, there is no edge identified, which is why you won't see it. Otherwise, you will see it as a plus 1.5 cent. I think probably we'll see it in some event. Today it's Canada versus uh,
Uh,
South Africa, right?
South Africa.
Right. So so see this edge, right? So you'll be able to
Yeah.
spot a few edges over here. So this is what we do. We basically show the edge that users would have on the markets that they would like to trade. Okay, let's go back
Okay.
to Wimbledon. Okay. Then in the middle we have a chart and a chat coming soon, and then on the right side we have sub panels where we talk about what is the depth of the markets that you're trading on, if at all there are any sharps that have traded on this particular market.
Mm-hmm.
uh, what are the other traders doing on this market, right? So where is the buying pressure, where is the selling pressure?
Nice.
Are people buying at a multiples of certain value? And then when you look at it, essentially for Sinner there's a lot of sell pressure for smaller values. And in fact, if you look at this person bought a 1.5k trade
Hmm.
for a no, which means he's basically saying that Sinner is not going to win. So you can trade on yes and no both. Okay,
Got
so
it.
this is an additional information that we have. So right now, because we were just having some fun, I would have gone ahead and placed. But as a trader, I would have checked all of it. And now when I look at these trades, and I
Hmm.
look at a lot of selling pressure on buy,
Hmm.
on basically yes, and buying pressure on no, which basically tells me that Sinner not winning the slam
Is
is actually a good price to trade on. So let's probably trade that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it covers everything. Sinner not winning opens the way for Djokovic winning it. So you are broadly trading both the
Right.
markets.
So I'll just
And
probably place a trade on that.
I think the sell pressure on yes for Yannick is kind of matching up to the point that you raised the first time you saw that a futures market having a 59 price on one particular player is too much. So
Yeah,
do
it
you
is
see that these
extremely high.
folks bought in at 10, 20, and they're like, I'm already 3x on a futures market. This wouldn't have happened unless I would have won the damn thing. So let's just sell while we're ahead. So I think these guys are probably cashing in on that insight.
Hmm.
That's what it seems like because pre-tournament selling a Yannick position, not even waiting for him to clear the round of 64 or the 32, which he is bound to cross more often than not.
Honestly, buying Shelton also makes a lot of sense. But okay, cool. Oh, so it's placed. Perfect. So yeah, this is the sub 100 MS execution, guys, that we talk a lot about on our socials happening in real time. The trade is already placed and can be seen into your trade history. Cool.
Very
So
interesting.
that is
I
everything.
think we
That
should
is
do another
everything.
session. We should do another session where we just talk about these prices, and I think that will be awesome.
Yeah, why not?
I've
Why
got a lot
not?
of them.
I mean, the tournament is just starting. We have 2 weeks of absolute action, which is coming up. And not just on these streams, guys. Like, there will be a lot of people watching this video later. We are posting a lot of match analysis on our Twitter, on our Discord, on our Telegram, sending out newsletters as
Lot of
well.
alpha,
So,
high quality insights per match.
in case you have not signed up, just sign up and you get all of these things in your mail. And
It's our very own Raunak doing all the analysis. Of course, we take a bit of intelligence from DG3 and a bit more of from Raunak, and yeah, we'll share what is our view on a particular match. In fact, and Wimbledon starts tomorrow. I think
tomorrow.
qualifier will end today, and main starts tomorrow. Yeah,
Yes. So, tomorrow we start with the main draws. The first round begins tomorrow.
perfect.
And then 2 weeks of crazy drama. All right. So yeah, guys, that was DG3. My name is Raunak. With me, we have Ronit and Siddhant. Any parting notes, guys? Ronit, Siddhant, to the audience.
For the
Mm,
audience, I think look out for the exhibition matches. I am looking forward to Barami at Wimbledon. I know that's going to be something that I can have fun watching without having any context about tennis or Wimbledon or the prices. So I think that's something everybody should look at. Showmanship is a great way to get into the sport.
yeah.
Agreed.
I would just say that as the wise old man Albus Wulfric Brand Dumbledore says, nitwit blubber oddment we. I think it took some time.
Instant silence.
It took some time, but I'm happy you guys got it.
Crazy. Ronit, can we do one thing?
Yeah.
This was not planned. This was not even told to you. So please don't scold me later. But
I
can
will
we do
just do Google
something
search.
where let's say the first 5 people who reply to this stream once it's put out with their predictions, we give them something to
Yeah,
try
yeah, of course.
try the terminal out.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Let's go
First
ahead.
5 people. So
Yeah.
guys, this is live on stream. We have the founder with us, so this can't be traced back. You get something like some token to trade your
No, we'll
favorite
give them
market.
basically cashback in their DG3 wallet on the
Done.
trade. Simple.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So yeah, this is something that we can get. Maybe in the next streams, guys, I will try for bigger things out of my boss. But for now, that was us. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.